Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So good morning. Welcome to another market open stream. The bell is about to ring. But today I want to talk about Bitcoin to $60,000 in 60 days. Something just occurred. And last time this occurred, Bitcoin did this. So what happened? Let's talk about this and let's talk about other things going on in the world today. And it is now 8:30. Boom. The best bell in the industry, and it still works after 3 years without replacing the battery. All right. So you can see this morning looks like the market wants to turn red, but definitely could turn green like yesterday. There's really nothing holding the market back at this point. All right, my internet cut off a little bit. I don't know. Gary Gensler is trying to hack my internet. So, like I was saying, I don't know. He said some stuff. One key point was trying to get everyone to somehow not stop Social Security benefits and Medicare. I think everyone agreed, but also taxing the rich corporations by at least 15%. And then he talked about various other things, and I think overall went well. I didn't get any negative feedback about it. So that happened yesterday, and today it didn't do a whole lot for markets. But what will affect markets for the remainder of this week is this. We have a couple big economic data left. We have consumer price inflation, which is, of course, a big thing, jobless claims, and consumer sentiment. All right, so these three things we will see. Jobless claims, normally speaking, well, anything to do with jobs. Normally speaking, there's not that much deviation, right? Jobless claims, basically, people that have been laid off or off work now claiming unemployment, right? But also you have non-farm payroll, right? And that measures how many jobs that's been added. I mean, when you combine these two, right? Normally speaking, they don't move markets. But last week we had such a good jobs report. It actually spooked the market. So I don't expect anything to really happen with jobless claims unless it like drops to like 0 or something. And then it'll be like, oh my God, people will be freaking out over such good news, right? So I don't think anything's going to happen. Consumer sentiment, probably lower. We have seen that for a long time now. So that's not going to affect anything. And like I said, Powell already spoke yesterday. So that's the biggest thing that was holding the market back. And now that he did, and he didn't really say anything new or bad, I mean, there's really nothing holding back the market at this point, right? So we'll see. We'll see if it turns green later today. Now, as for Bitcoin, Bitcoin is going through a couple big things going on, all right? A couple big things, and people have mentioned it. And I'll bring up this chart right here. There's two crosses that's happening right now. So on a daily chart, which is the bottom one, we have formed a golden cross. The 50 has moved above the 200 moving average. That's called a golden cross, and that's bad. That's good. That's good. Now, on top here, unfortunately, on the weekly chart, we also have another cross going called the death cross. The 200 is about to move above the 50. So we have conflicting reports right now, okay? So not only do we have a weekly death cross, which traditionally is bad. In fact, Bitcoin's 14-year history has never seen a death cross on its weekly chart. But on the daily chart, a shorter time frame, we're getting that golden cross, which I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. But so like right now, there's this conflict. So the bears and bulls are kind of arguing which one is more significant. Here's the thing. Both of these crosses, they're using moving averages, either on a daily scale or weekly scale. You could do it on any time frame. They're considered lagging indicators. That means you have to have price movement move a certain direction for so long before those moving averages actually start moving down or upwards, right? So we have seen many times when we have formed a death cross, and that actually, even though it sounds bad, is actually good because that means we have found the bottom and we are recovering, right? And this could have happened because, well, we had the longest drawdown we ever seen for Bitcoin, even though previous drawdowns had a bigger percentage drop. But in terms of number of days, this last one we went through was the longest ever for Bitcoin. We had never seen a drawdown longer than the one we just experienced. So keep that in mind. So that could be the reason why we have never seen a weekly death cross, because previous cycles, previous bottoms, we recovered already, right? So there's that. So I wouldn't put much emphasis on this. I know the bears, the naysayers will say, well, this is horrible. You got to sell. You got to sell everything because the death cross is coming. No, I see the opposite. I see this as indication that we have hit bottom and we are now flipping above. And the daily golden cross supports that. If the daily golden cross coming up, you know that we are definitely coming up. And that's why I don't pay a lot of attention to the weekly death cross. I pay attention to this. This is what happened last time Bitcoin formed a golden cross. Actually, it formed a couple times. Sometimes it happens often, but sometimes when it does happen, like back in 2019, when we formed a golden cross after recovering from bottom, that's the most important thing, all right? We jumped up quite a lot. We jumped up 154%. It's relevant because that's exactly what we did. We just formed bottom and we're recovering up. Now, the other times you see here, sometimes they're just kind of like midstream. So, the ups and downs are not so prevalent. But the important one is to see the one in 2019 when we recover from bottom, we had a huge recovery upwards. I remember from 3,000 to about 14,000 really, really quickly, right? And if we follow the same footsteps, well, then we'll see about 60,000 in about 60 days, okay? And another thing to keep in mind, look at the golden cross when it formed in 2020, okay? That one brought Bitcoin up from 6,000 all the way up to basically 60,000. That is actually a 10x. Okay, I don't anticipate that we're going to see something like that right now, but good things have happened when we had golden crosses form on a daily chart. Okay, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's just put it that way. Now, there's one other interesting thing that TechDev pointed out. And I think a lot of people are wondering about this because how Bitcoin moves is traditionally according to a 4-year cycle, right? And there's so many charts that show this. When Bitcoin forms a bottom, when it starts recovering, right? And how high it goes. I mean, you could almost, if you laid upon each cycle on top of each other, they look almost identical. But why is that? Right? No one really knows. Like, is it just because retail investors know when to buy or whales know when to buy and know exactly when to sell? Like, what causes that? Well, I think TechDev may be onto something because he actually, let me remove my camera here. So he actually charted basically the Chinese 10-year bond with the USDXY. Okay, and also on the bottom, he put the MACD. But if you look at it, it's interesting because every time Bitcoin goes up, it's when the CN10Y breaks above the DXY. And every time it drops below the DXY, Bitcoin goes down. Like every single time. Every single time Bitcoin went on a tremendous run, and we attribute it to the last year of 4-year cycle. It happens to be the years when the Chinese 10-year bond is very strong and breaks above the DXY, right? Like every single time. So if this is really the truth, if this is really the case, and I don't know why, I haven't put my mind around if this is true, what this really means exactly. A lot of when the dollar is showing strength against the Chinese bonds, money flows out of China and buys Bitcoin. I don't actually quite know what it means yet, but what I do know is this. It has just happened again. The CN10Y has broken above the DXY, and then we started recovering, right? Is it a coincidence? At this point, no. If you go back all the way to 2011, you can't say that's a coincidence anymore, right? So this is really interesting, really interesting. I need to do more research on it, but full credit to tech dev who kind of drawn this out. It's actually very interesting to think about. Anyways, that's also showing Bitcoin is in a pretty good spot right now. And then also, you know what? Bitcoin conference tweeted that this is bullish. Shell, the second largest investor-owned oil and gas company, is sponsoring the Bitcoin conference. Normally, the Bitcoin conference is sponsored by other crypto companies. Okay? You could see a lot of mining companies, right? I mean, they're usually crypto companies. But you have Shell out of nowhere sponsoring the conference. So they are definitely paying attention. A lot of oil companies are thinking about mining Bitcoin with their excess, what do they call it? They have all this excess gas they have to release. And people have figured out you could use that excess gas to power Bitcoin mining rigs. So they may be interested in that. Okay, or they just may be interested in Bitcoin and they want to put it on their balance sheet. I don't know exactly what's going on there, but it is very. I would say it's bullish, like the Bitcoin conference tweeted. All right, so outside of Bitcoin, we got some other good news. We have NYU to launch a Web 3.0 learning workshop in partnership with Near Protocol. So we're now seeing schools, obviously, get involved with blockchain and Web 3.0 and Bitcoin because, of course, why not? Young people want to learn. There's no young person that wants to learn about gold. No one is saying, I want to invest in gold. People want to say, I want to invest in the future. I want to invest in the future of dApps. I want a future of games, future of finance, right? That's Web 3.0. It's all crypto related. So you have a lot of stuff like this happen. All the prestigious colleges and universities, they all have their courses now, right? But this is with Near Protocol, so it's good. And like I expected, a lot of these protocols or chains are going to try to jump on the AI bandwagon. And yeah, so Near just tweeted out that, hey, Near Protocol can serve as an infrastructure empowering next generation AI use cases. Even though they have nothing to do with AI right now, just the fact that they mentioned, yeah, we may be, powering the next generation AI, whatever that means, Near Protocol just spikes up to the moon. So like right now, I anticipate the next phase will be all these projects now integrating, saying, hey, we're going to be involved with AI, and then you go see a whole bunch of random pumps everywhere. All right, so just be careful of that. Not to say that Near is bad protocol, but I think that's just kind of really clickbaity right there. Not clickbaity, but yeah, it is clickbaity. But just be careful of that. But in addition to Near, you got Algorand that's also partnering up with schools in India. India is right now pretty anti-crypto. They keep flip-flopping. Their Supreme Courts and courts, right, deem crypto is illegal, and then it's not illegal, and then their banks try to shut it down, and the Supreme Court turn it back on. I mean, it's really back and forth, really. But Algorand is partnering up with several institutions, school, to create programs to educate people, students, businesses, kind of like Near. So overall, can't be a bad thing. Solana also partnering up, not with the school, but with Brave browser. A lot of you guys know BAT, basic attention token. They have a Brave browser. Brave browser also have a lot of mobile. They have a mobile app now, and they're partnering up with Solana to bring Solana's dApp store to Brave. That's good. I don't know how many of you guys use Solana's dApp store. I have not heard anyone talk about it, but it can't hurt. It can't hurt. And then also Chiliz, which is now a L1, they are involved with fan tokens, sports teams, tokenization and NFTs. Now they have rolled out their layer 1 blockchain, which is why they are surging, right? They were on Ethereum, and of course anything on Ethereum can get costly at times with congestion, right? And it can be slow at times. So that's why they decided to roll out their own layer 1, right? It's EVM compatible. And now if you have Chiliz, you can stake. You can stake and earn staking rewards, which wasn't available before. So also good for Chiliz. All right. Fox projects record Super Bowl ad revenue after World Cup. NFL boosted results. Previously I read that the advertisers may be, not spending as much this year because of the economy, right? But, well, Fox is predicting something else. But we'll see. We'll see. It looks like it's pretty flat right now, but I think we could definitely turn into green. Bitcoin right now is still holding above 23.1. That's pretty positive. Entire crypto market cap is still at 1.08. It was at 1.09 yesterday. I noticed some of the AI plays started cooling off. This is one of the things, they need to cool off because they were sky high, right? But overall, today is still a pretty green day. I like seeing Matic. I like seeing Polygon going up. Now, $1.30, it has done really well, 20% for the last week. You could see, Bitcoin didn't move for last week. Polygon up about 20%. SHIB also up about 20% for the week. So those are good. Those are good. And then you got some others like Near Protocol, which they said AI, okay, and they're pumping like 15%. I anticipate others will say something similar and see a pump as well. All right, let's do some Q&A. Trip to Diamond Works. Soccer is the biggest, most popular loved sport. 6.5 billion people saw the opening game show alone. I'm going to call BS on that. There's no way. There's no way that like 3/4 of the earth watched the opening game. I don't believe that. I'm sure a large amount did, but not 6.5 billion. All right, let's see if I missed anything here. Let me scroll through. No chat activity happening with Rumble right now. On Twitch, one ChatGPT crypto Q&A stream. I don't even know what that means. Scrolling. I'll leave this picture up right here. The in-between says 100% chance it hits 60K by summer. I wish I had your conviction. It will hit 60K eventually. I don't know about 60 days or summer, but hey, strange things have happened in crypto before. I've experienced that. I experienced us going from 3K to 6K, and then after 6K going to 14K in very, very quick. Very quickly. Let's see here. Someone says Tesla's pumping. Is Tesla pumping? Oh, yeah, I forgot about AI. Even Alibaba is working on a ChatGPT rival. A lot of companies are saying they're working on a rival, but it's not so easy. There's only one ChatGPT. So I don't know. Baidu yesterday said they were doing something, and now Alibaba, Google is doing Bard. I was reading the comments, people trying to explain what BARD means, why Google picked it. I don't know what, I don't know what the official thing is. Tesla's not pumping. Tesla's above 200 though, up 2%. That's pretty positive. Where's Coinbase at? Coinbase took a huge dump recently. Yeah, Coinbase up 2%. That's good. All right, I missed a lot of, okay, hold on. List a lot of chat, still scrolling here. Is it too late to jump by AI tokens? No, I don't think so. You look at their market cap, all still below $1 billion. And plus, today they all took a huge dump. I think I caught up. Better dump your soul and buy XRP. Well, that's one way to do it. British CBDC will use XRP, asking for a friend. No, it won't be. Mander Jewelry, appreciate it. Veracity up 300 on the 30-day. Good for Veracity. I'm still not sold on that project. The alleys, no. I have no idea what you're talking about. People asking about Shibarium. Shibarium should be out pretty soon. That's why SHIB has been going up. But, Cosmos also going up. I like Cosmos a lot. Avalanche going up. So we got a lot of good movers. I will say BNB has been very, very stagnant. A lot of FUD around Binance. A lot of people seems to want to spread FUD about Binance. Not quite sure why. But BNB has been very stagnant. Ethereum has been very stagnant. I'm actually really surprised. I think a lot of people may be fearful of the unstaking that's going to happen, but that's not for another month or two. But BNB and Ethereum are definitely very slow moving, underperforming. XRP is underperforming. Cardano is underperforming. So you got these big boys, and even Doge is underperforming. You got all these that are like really not moving, right? Polygon started moving, so that's good. Polkadot started moving. Solana also not moving. So it's strange that some of these projects, some of these ones in the top 10 or top 11, right? They're underwhelming at this point, but they will get their turn. The reason why they're big is because they have a lot of supporters. I don't think they're going to go away, but it's quite surprising some of these have not moved like some of the others out there. No, people keep asking about Harmony. I don't like them anymore. I don't. They treated their dApp makers poorly, and they were hacked, and they lost a lot of support. Brent, I've never liked Kusama. It's like a test chain. It's like a full chain, but really a test net for Polkadot. So just go with Polkadot. I don't know. Not really. Just neutral on Kusama. What's your favorite ISO 20022 compliant project? None. I don't support any projects that's ISO 20022 compliant project. Why would you want to support a standard created for banks? Why would you want a crypto that is compliant to that? You want a crypto to follow the rules in the banks? That's why I don't even see. People have just thrown that out there trying to make a use case or a more bullish case for something like XRP or Stellar, or both compliant. And there's some other chains that are supposedly compliant, but It's a standard crate for banks. Why would you want the crypto project to be compliant with those? Is ST ETH in danger to depeg once the new ETH upgrade happens and you have a whole bunch of people unstaking? It shouldn't be if it's working properly. I don't quite know how some of these like synthetic tokens actually depeg. It's usually due to a massive dumping that happens, right? The price fluctuates too much, usually due to some kind of dumping. So unless everyone unstakes ETH and sells it and dumps it, I don't think you're gonna have to worry. But it's one of the reasons why Lido is so hot right now, because there are definitely a lot of people taking advantage of ST ETH, synthetic ETH, and you know, it's liquid staking. What do you think about PancakeSwap versus Uniswap rivalry? I don't know. I personally would have loved to see Uniswap v3 move to BNB. That way, you know, it competes head on with PancakeSwap, but also just now you could trade ETH and BNB tokens within one single DEX, right? But a lot of the big backers of Uniswap does not want to see that happen because they're big backers of Consensus and Ethereum-based products. So they're actually vetoing that, which I think is really stupid. You want Uniswap to kind of expand to multi-chains if you can, so that it get bigger and more usage and more users and, you know, more liquidity. Why would you not want that, you know? Dennis, yes, your messages are appearing. And I just talked about Algorand, so you have to rewind a little bit. They're partnering up with some schools in India. $87,000 IRS agents going after servant barter. And just, I heard they cut funding for that, so they're not actually going to hire 87,000 IRS agents. So yeah, so I don't think we have to worry about that for a while. And plus, not 87,000 was going to be onboarded all at once. A lot of that was to replace the ones that are set to retire. But regardless, it's a large amount, and I heard the funding for that has been removed. Gone are the days where you can mine hundreds of Bitcoin a day with a Dell laptop and crack screen. Yeah, I've never experienced those days. So, Zach, if you did, good for you, but that was a long time ago. Even though it was a long time ago, it wasn't that long ago. That's like probably 2010, 2011, 12. Yeah, it's only like, 11, 12 years ago. Can anyone break LeBron's record in the future? Yesterday I saw the ceremony like mid-game, and it's just really awkward. I don't know why they didn't wait until the end of the game to do it. LeBron did seem very awkward around Kareem. Kareem was clapping, but he never smiled, so Kareem, didn't really like it. And LeBron just, he could have been more warm towards Kareem. But anyways, they ended up losing the game. So Lakers still looks like they might not even make the playoffs this year, which would suck. But as for will anyone else ever break that record, you never want to say never, but I would say it's damn hard, especially with athletes these days. Left and right injuries. Most athletes never even play 82 games or anywhere close. I mean, NBA athletes. So even with all the technology, with all the massaging and cold baths and all this stuff, most of them still get injured left and right. And for someone else to play 18 seasons and pretty much stay healthy all 18 seasons and consistently score 30 points, like average 30 points a game, to be able to do that is near impossible. So it will be a record that will once be known as like a possible record to break. Yeah, Luka's not breaking it, Shannon. Hate to break it to you. Luka's not breaking it. He's already injured left and right. He's missing games all the time. I don't think he's played 82 games yet in a season. When do you think projects like ADA and Algo will hit $1 again? When Bitcoin has to move significantly upwards. I think after Bitcoin hits about 30,000, if we can trend up to 30,000, I think some of these projects could be doubling at least. That's how fast alts move. So. People love to hate on LeBron, and I used to too. But the fact remains he's 38 years old and is still a top 5 player in the NBA. And you can make the case he's top 3 still. Okay? Still averaging like close to 38 and 8 at 38 years old. I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible. No one was anywhere close to those numbers at his age after playing 18 seasons, and how many finals and how many playoff series. Most have dropped off like significantly. Most drop off significantly after like turning 32, 33 in the NBA. Their numbers, production just tank. People just take it for granted. It's funny if you play like NBA 2K. There's all-star teams. You pick the all-star teams from like the 2010s. He was a 99 rating. If you pick the all-star from 2020, 2000s, 2010, 2020, like basically like 3 generations. He's still 99 in the all-star team. So it's kind of amazing. Ben Simmons will break it. Just be patient. I'll wait. I guess I'll wait to see what happens there. Yeah, market still. I'm kind of surprised, kind of hovering. We should be turning. Let's put this up. This is a good chart. Who wins the Super Bowl? I have no idea. I just found out who's playing. I don't know who's the better team. If I had to guess, probably the Chiefs will win. But I really don't know. What's your approach to forecast all-time high for BTC? Well, I don't have a chart to show you specifically, but you just look at every single cycle. You look at the drawdowns and you look at the tops, right? There's a certain percentage. And there's a lot of other on-chain metrics like, stock to flow, stuff like that kind of measures, the stair steps that we take. So you just look at the percentages and you kind of do a best estimate. Of course, the percentage can't be the same as we get bigger, just like the drawdown percentage is less than the previous drawdown percentages, right? The upside, the bull top, I guess, won't be the same percentage as before too. It'll get smaller and smaller over time, but it's still significant. So pay attention. I show a lot of charts like that. ERG, I don't think much of it. Ergo, it's like a L1 DeFi play. Close ties with Cardano. I don't hear much about them, really. When I go on a TV show, it will be end of March. I don't know when it's going to be broadcasted, though. Probably June, I'm hearing. Something like that. Do you think AI coins will run till summer? Parker, it's very speculative, but I think AI coins will continue to do well as long as we hear more and more about ChatGPT and Google and now the other guys like Baidu and Alibaba. They're all getting involved, okay? I think it's going to be a fierce competition. ChatGPT, big announcement yesterday. Basically, they'll be integrated into Bing. They're limiting that rollout right now, but as time goes on, if people find ChatGPT to be like amazing, especially with Bing Access now, right? It's gonna make those AI plays. It's gonna kind of carry them with the wave. Okay, let's just put it that way. So yeah, I think they will continue to go up, but oftentimes they pump too much, and then recently, like today, they're dumping, but overall they're still way higher than before. I think we're going to see waves of that. And then when Google opens up Bard for open testing, and then they integrate into their Google apps, I mean, we're going to see more of that. I mean, there's still so much coming. It's still very early. We're only in February right now. What do you think about TAP 50x till 2025? I don't know much about TAP, so I can't talk about TAP. Do you think the 1inch token is better than other DEXs? No, I actually don't. 1inch is the aggregator, but they have their own liquidity pools. I think recently I saw that there were going to be a huge unlock coming up, but also 1inch also prohibits you from trading if you're in the US. There are some tokens you can't trade on 1inch because it could detect you're in the US and says errors out. And that always bothered me about DEX. It should not have the ability to do that. But it does. So ever since that happened to me on 1inch, I'm like, I'm done with them. We'll probably sell MSTR, got around 350 or so. Yeah, I mean, it will definitely happen. It will definitely happen when Bitcoin gets up to 50, 60,000 once again. What is MSTR right now? They're like 284. Actually, I was wrong. I thought MicroStrategy was actually a lot lower. So to get to 350 or so, yeah, it'll happen. Probably when Bitcoin hits like 30,000, 30, 35,000. It could happen. Coinbase, not up. All right, guys, let's call it a stream. Tonight, I will be streaming early. So normally it's 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to be streaming early, possibly around like 5 o'clock, 5:30-ish, because I have something going on tonight that you guys will find out about later. So make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified, right? But I will be streaming, and we'll see where Bitcoin and crypto is then, okay? Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.